Okay, so this is today's run of the European weeklies. I wanted to run through this real quick and just go through some of my thoughts and the significance of this run. I will say ahead of time this typically the European struggles to see cold in the long range. But when it does see cold in the long range, it usually verifies. The reason why I'm sharing this is because this is, in my opinion, a pretty significant run where the trend is concerned. So I'm gonna show the 500 millibar level here. This is the Northern Hemisphere view. So I'm going to go back. This is today. This is valid, starting valid 8 p.m. on Sunday. So we'll run this through. We have a pretty strong ridge here in the central U.S. Trough on the eastern U.S. A pretty strong negative. Blocking positives are moving up towards Greenland, which is, if you want like winter weather and colder weather, that's what you want to see. So I'm going to move this forward. October 21st, couple pieces of energy here. Ridge is starting to move back a little bit. Positive around Hudson Bay. This piece of energy gets shunted south. You got a 50-50 low up here. So here's a pretty significant trough on October 24th. So that is going to be this Sunday. Zoom in to the 1-day anomaly. So that's significant, pretty significant cold. Going a little closer. So that's on the scale, that's minus 4, 5, 6 degrees Celsius below normal at the 850 level. So that's pretty impressive. So I'm going to go back to the 500 height anomaly. So that trough moves out. Ridge is getting stronger, still pretty strong negative, pretty strong low coming into the northwest U.S., southwestern Canada. That piece runs across. Still have a little bit of ridging in the east. Then here's where the game gets going. This piece of energy drops a low piece of negative here comes off of this low in the Gulf of Alaska and just flat out bombs out. It looks like there's this tropical system trying to get going here around November 1st in the Gulf of Mexico. That gets absorbed by the trough dropping in. Ridge is kind of flat. It's not, I mean, amplification is not terrible, but it's kind of flat, so it's not allowing this trough to go negative. It's going to be pretty significant cold air, especially down in the deep south, Tennessee Valley, um, Missouri, Arkansas. I mean, down into the deep south. That's is low as minus 13 degrees below normal at 850 millibars. So go back to the height anomaly. So that system, that trough runs east, and this is where things get interesting here. Um, this other piece of energy here, this is November 3rd, drops in, and when that drops in, it allowed the ridge in the west straightens up, amplifies a little bit more, gets stronger, and starting to build into Alaska. Got a little bit of blocking here. You got some negative up here, northeast Canada. Good block in the North Atlantic, off of Newfoundland and Nova Scotia, which isn't terrible. Usually you would like to see the more positive over Greenland for enhance the blocking and see the negative or the 50-50 low where this is where the positive is positioned here. Excuse me. So this trough is negative. I mean, that's significant. You look at the surface pressure anomaly, run this back. Okay, this is November 2nd. So a couple areas of low pressure here could make things interesting for the interior, especially, I'll say, north of I-80. So let me get back here. Trough is negative. Skip forward, November 5th. The ridge just amplifies like crazy. I mean, this is amazing. Have a little bit of Greenland blocking up here, but I will say this is turning into an omega block here. Because you have this ridge building here, trough digging in, and the ridge. Well, I'll even go ridge building in, trough digging, and I'll even say the ridge building in like that up in the North Atlantic. Even though we got some negatives up here, I think these are just cold shots ready to drop in. So let me look at the 850 anomaly here for that day. That's significant here. That's let me go in a little tighter. So that's -9 to -10 degrees Celsius below normal at 850 millibars, which is significant, very significant. Go back to the heights. Ridge kind of tilts a little bit, more of a southwest to northeast orientation. Maybe southwest, east, northeast, maybe. Still got a pretty healthy trough in the east. Still got ridging in the North Atlantic. So whatever, that's going to keep that upper level low in the trough just stuck. You kind of see a little bit of a connection here with the trough over Europe. This trough starts lifting up, but you got a broad area of positives and ridging out west of the Mississippi. That kicks the trough off the East Coast around November 8th. Ridge really goes tilted here. You got a true southwest to northeast orientation. It's in a good place though. I don't mind that. November 10th, piece of energy drops in. Some ridging comes across. Anomalous positives up here north of Alaska. You got a piece of energy here over Western Canada, getting ready just to absolutely crash in, and watch what we get here. November 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th. Greenland blocking is about ready to go nuts here. If this backs in, we're gonna be up there. It goes. So here, November 19th, decent ridge off the west coast. Do have some negatives up here in Alaska, but this blocking is nuts, and you still got some ridging off the east coast out in the central and central Atlantic. This is impressive here. Trough pulls out on the 21st of November. Some ridging builds back in, so expect some moderation there. If you're taking this literally, I'm looking more at the trends based off of what I've been seeing in other guidance, and like I said, the fact that the European is showing this kind of cold at this range needs to be paid attention to. November 25th, right on Thanksgiving here. Incredible positives over the top. Deep trough getting ready to dig in. You got a 50-50 low here. I don't see how, if this verifies, I don't see how we don't get a storm out of this. Trough comes through, digs deeper. Still would like to see more of a south to north oriented ridge, maybe a southwest to southeast to northwest orientation, but that's decent still. Ridge is kind of building over the top here, shunting that negative, that trough to the south. Storm comes up the coast there, looks like on December 2nd. And here we go, the end of the run, December 3rd. People thinking this is way over a month out. Why are you even looking at it? I'm looking at it for several reasons. Like I said, the biggest reason is to use it in relation to the trend. Using it to forecast. You can kind of, to see some potentials in there for storms, but this just hits home with what I've been seeing for November and for December. And this orientation here, with the ridge and the trough here on December 3rd, this is going to kick back in. And this is almost cross polar flow here. As a matter of fact, it is. That's significant. That's significant cold air. That's just a flat out cross polar flow there in December, early December. So I'm expecting a pretty significant November below normal temps. I think very stormy, especially. I mean, there's some signal. You go back. So we have the trough that just is going through, which I've heard that there's been reports of grapple in the Poconos and in northern New Jersey, which is kind of like a sleet snow mix. So 22nd, system around the 22nd, 24th. Another trough dropping in, stays north, so that'll impact mainly New York State into New England. 31st to 1st. Here's this week. Cody and I have been looking at this Halloween time period. 31st, 1st, 2nd time frame for quite a few weeks now. And I may have alluded to it in posts, but this trend, this is my confidence here is very, very high. Out of five, I'm about a 4.5 now. That this verifies. So that's it for now. I'll put another video up here soon. So